Hi, Chris Conway here. I'm here to talk about two recent releases in the electronic and ambient department. And before they just dash off again into the past, as albums can do pretty quickly. But whilst they're fresh in my mind, I wanted to talk about them. The first one is a solo album, Chris Conway, Splendid Isolation, which looks like that. And yes, I recorded it during lockdown, if the title gives that hint. The album is basically ambient improvisations and soundscapes featuring theremin, piano, low whistle, guitars, and electronics. So whereas in the past a lot of my ambient electronic have featured the theremin and the effects, rather like this first track here, on each track I kind of vary the instrumentation. So this is my kind of theremin going through my delays and filters and ring modulators and things to make a sort of ambient underground orchestra kind of sound. On other tracks, piano is featured. I improvised a piano piece over some ethereal electronics which I'd already done, and that was just an overdubbed approach of improvising. And I then put my low whistle and lots of shakers and bells and such like to make a sort of ethnic shaman kind of feel to it, and then after a time put them through my effects bank. And to create a flutey kind of ambience with lots of other little sounds, like from the zither that you're doing, slightly creepy sounds in the background. Didn't advertise it well. Never mind. And then I put a piano piece where I put the piano and slowly increased the amount of a thing called ring modulator, which makes things sound strangely twisted and frozen, and as time goes on it made the piano sound like sort of icicles and sound. So it was a fun one to do. That's called Frozen in Time. So there are different approaches and different instrumentations throughout, and oddly the album I think is very calming. Calming and unearthly, I would say, with two words I put together to describe this album. So yes, called Splendid Isolation, and check that one out. It's on Bandcamp and Spotify and everywhere else. I'll go on to the second album now, which is this one, which is by Modulight, a duo of myself and Jez Creek, who is Jez is a synthesist who has just got banks and banks of synthesizers, toys, gadgets. I don't know what half of them do. He has a whole table of these things. And his studio at home is amazing. But he is a great synthesist, and we worked together for years at the quite electronic monthly electronic improv sessions. And I played at his venue he has called Church of Sound in Nottingham, and we played together there. But during lockdown we decided to send each other files and make an album together in that way, and it worked really nicely because Jez has a lot of these big synthesizer of bass. He has these very kind of earthy and big sounds, and as well as, and my things tended to be like the theremin and the zithers and things, and the piano tend to be a little lighter, higher frequencies. So but together they mesh really nicely to make a beautiful, very atmospheric. I would call this more an electronic album, and the other one would be more of an electroacoustic album, because this has much more electric sounds in it. But it's come out, move that forward a little. Anyway, it's come out really nicely, and far better than we dreamt. So it's called Modulight and Ritual Alchemy, and the list of instruments Jez plays on, we both play a pack of instruments, but Jez plays an enormous number of about 10 different kinds of synthesizer alone. So it's a real deep atmospheric album, and hope you enjoy that one. So check these albums out. They're on Bandcamp, they're on Spotify, they're everywhere else. If you did want a CD, I burn them to order. I burn them and I print them, and I use nice paper and jewel cases, like you can see, like that. It looks kind of pretty, and that's the back and the details of a proper album. But I burn them on high quality discs at home to order, and that's that. So anyway, check them out for a listen. They're on Bandcamp, or go to my page chrisconway.org, and that'll have links to both of those there, and you can find them on Spotify. So that's Modulight, Ritual Alchemy, Chris Conway, Splendid Isolation. And hope you enjoy listening to those, and see you again sometime. Bye.